Hi, I'm Vin Moscardelli and I direct UConn's Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships. Welcome to ONSF's end-of-year virtual celebration of excellence. If you're tuning into this, you probably already have a pretty good sense of what it is we do here. But for those of you who don't, let me take a moment to explain. At ONSF, my colleagues Luann Saunders-Canabay, Rowena Granger, and I advise and mentor UConn students who are competing for prestigious, nationally competitive scholarships and fellowships. ONSF is part of UConn enrichment programs and is open to all graduate and undergraduate students at the university, including students at the regional campuses. So in addition to advising students about nationally competitive awards, ONSF also nominates and prepares candidates for scholarships that require or encourage institutional endorsement or review, like the Rhodes, Marshall, Goldwater, Udall, Truman, and Borden scholarships, as well as the various awards that are administered through the Fulbright US Student Program. We also support students who are applying for prestigious competitions that do not require nomination, such as the Gates Cambridge, the NSF Graduate Research Fellowship, and many, many more. The work we do in our office is built on the premise that there's value in the process of applying for these awards, regardless of the outcome. And if we're doing our job right, and you take the process seriously, working on an application for a national scholarship or fellowship should help you clarify some of your goals, identify some of your strengths and weaknesses, and ideally help you develop a deeper understanding of why you want to do what it is you say you want to do. So as you saw in that opening photo montage, in more normal times, we'd be holding this event in person over breakfast at the Alumni House. It's a great chance for us to bring together students, family members, and mentors late in the year to remind you just how proud we are and how proud you should be of the work that you did this year. Last year we didn't get to do this because of COVID, so this year we're celebrating not only the students who went through this process this year, but also the students who went through it last year. You know, Luann, Rowena, and I work with a lot of students, and we're always looking to work with more. But even so, the slice of students who go through the campus process and who eventually go forward as nominees or endorsed candidates, it's actually pretty small. You need to know that. And you need to know that you've done something that very few of your peers actually do. Look, you could have come to UConn, gone to class, done your homework, studied for your tests, and had perfectly wonderful experiences here. But that wasn't enough for you. Instead, you sought out tons of co-curricular and extracurricular activities to enrich your college experience. Undergraduate research, leadership, language training, internships, student organizations, that list goes on and on and on. And then on top of it all, you sought out more work in the form of applying for one of these scholarships or fellowships. And I choose that word work carefully because I know I don't have to tell any of you that completing an application for a prestigious, nationally competitive award is exactly that, work. Just the research it takes to figure out which opportunity to pursue is often enough to discourage even the most high-achieving students. Then, making time to reflect on your plans, your goals, your ambitions before writing your essays, rewriting them, interviewing, waiting for the results. It's a lot of difficult and time-consuming work. And much of the real work started long before you even applied. Every single one of you had to find folks to supply anywhere from 3 to, in some of your cases, 8 letters of recommendation. So you should be proud not only of the records you've built, but of the relationships and the networks of support that you've cultivated along the way. And that brings me to my final point. Today isn't just about the students who represented UConn in these competitions. It's also about the families, mentors, and advisors who supported them on this journey. Now, I'll return to this theme later, but make no mistake, this event celebrates not only excellent students, but also the excellent mentors, advisors, and support networks that are necessary ingredients of the most enriching graduate and undergraduate educational experiences. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Vice Provost Michael Bradford, who will share a few remarks congratulating you on all that you've accomplished this year.
Welcome, students, alumni, families, guests, and mentors. I'm Michael Bradford, Professor of Dramatic Arts and Vice Provost for Faculty, Staff, and Student Development. I want to congratulate the students and recent alumni on having submitted an application for a prestigious nationally competitive scholarship or fellowship. I was a Fulbright Scholar in Granada, Spain several years ago, so I know firsthand how much goes into identifying the right opportunity, crafting those essays and putting together an application you can be proud of. So congratulations to all of you for putting in that work. And thank you to the mentors and advisors who helped guide you through that process. I know that some of you already know the outcome of your competition, and that some of you are still waiting to hear. But regardless of the outcome, I hope that the process of working closely with your mentors and with the staff in the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships forced you to think hard about what it is you want to do and why you want to do it. In other words, I hope you had a chance to think about your purpose. In her 2018 book, Minority Leader, How to Lead from the Outside and Make Real Change, Stacy Abrams opens with a description of her experience applying for the Rhodes Scholarship back in 1994. She describes it as grueling. She advanced to the interview stage of the competition that year, but like most of you, ultimately she was not selected for this award, for which she had worked so hard. And she admits freely that at first the loss devastated her in ways it took years to catalog. But she goes on to say that her many accomplishments are the culmination of what I learned in pursuing the Rhodes. That is, it was the process of applying and failing that made her the person she is today. Failure wasn't fatal. It wasn't even failure. She says that the result of the experience was that I suddenly saw opportunity where I had never been brave enough to look before. To change the world, we have to convince others, and often ourselves, that we deserve a seat at the table, and that we have ideas worth listening to. And most of us continue to have to remind ourselves throughout our lives. Some of those doubts never go away. Every time we put ourselves out there, we are reaffirming this belief that we can make a difference. When you started this whole process, you might have just thought you were applying for a scholarship. But the truth is that you were beginning the process of affirming that you deserve a seat at the table. So congratulations on having the tough conversations you had with your mentors and advisors along the way, and for putting in the work it took to submit your application. But most of all, congratulations on finding the courage to put yourself out there and risk failure, and for reaffirming that you can make a difference.
Thank you, Vice Provost Bradford. Now, let's get on to recognizing our students. If you'd like to learn more about these students and their accomplishments, I hope you'll download the program, which is available at the link below. We'll start by recognizing UConn's nominees for the Goldwater Scholarship. And for this, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Rowena Granger.
Hello, I'm Rowena Granger. I'm the STEM Fellowships Advisor in the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships, and I also manage the Health Research Program for the Office of Undergraduate Research. I work with students who are competing for the Barry M. Goldwater Scholarship. The Goldwater Scholarship honors Senator Barry Goldwater, who served his country as a soldier, statesman, and U.S. Senator. The program was created in 1986 to encourage outstanding students to pursue careers in mathematics, the natural sciences, or engineering, and to foster excellence in those fields. The Goldwater Scholarship is awarded by the U.S. government and is the premier undergraduate award of its type in these fields. Congratulations to UConn's Goldwater Scholarship nominees. No matter the outcome of this year's competition, I celebrate your achievement of persistence and dedication. You have already achieved success just by accepting this challenge and seeing this experience through. Congratulations. Now I'll turn things over to my colleague, Luann Saunders-Canabay.
Thank you, Rowena. Hello, I'm Luann Saunders-Canabay, Assistant Director in the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships and the Fulbright Program Advisor here at UConn. Despite the many challenges of the past year, I am delighted to recognize the immense efforts made by our students to continue in their pursuit of global engagement by applying for either the Gaither Junior Fellows Program or a Fulbright. Each year, through the James C. Gaither Junior Fellows Program, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace offers approximately 12 to 14 one-year fellowships to uniquely qualified graduating seniors selected from a pool of nominees nominated by several hundred participating universities and colleges. James C. Gaither Junior Fellows work as research assistants to Carnegie's senior scholars. Congratulations to UConn's nominee for the Gaither Junior Fellows Program. In 1945, Senator J. William Fulbright introduced a bill in the United States Congress that called for the use of surplus war property to fund the promotion of international goodwill through the exchange of students in the fields of education, culture, and science. On August 1, 1946, President Harry S. Truman signed the bill into law, and Congress created the Fulbright Program, the flagship international educational exchange program sponsored by the U.S. government. The Fulbright US Student Program now offers research, study, and teaching opportunities in over 140 countries to recent graduates and graduate students. During their grants, Fulbrighters will meet, work, live with, and learn from the people of the host country, sharing daily experiences. Through engagement in the community, individuals will interact with their hosts on a one-to-one basis in an atmosphere of openness, academic integrity, and intellectual freedom, thereby promoting mutual understanding. Last year, UConn had 5 finalists whose plans were thrown into various degrees of disarray by the pandemic. But despite the uncertainty, this year, 40 UConn students and alumni applied to research, study, and teach abroad in 24 countries. 17 of them have been nominated by the national screening committees to advance as semi-finalists to the Fulbright Commissions in country. In a year where the Fulbright US Student Program received more than 11,700 applications for approximately 2,200 awards, its largest applicant pool ever, I'm enormously proud of our students' achievements, as well as those of the 13 semi-finalists from last year.
Thank you, Luann and Rowena. As was the case with both Luann and Rowena, I worked closely with all of the students I'm about to introduce. So before I begin, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for taking this process so seriously during such a trying year. Of course, I've met most of you in person in previous years, so when we were forced to take our meetings online, at least there was some foundation there for us to continue our work. But there's some of you who I've never even been in the same room with. All of our interactions have happened via WebEx and Zoom. This is a strange way to do fellowships advising, so I appreciate your resiliency and your flexibility, and I look forward to the time when it's safe for us to meet face to face. Each fall, UConn nominates a select group of students for a handful of scholarship opportunities to pursue graduate degrees in the UK. The Rhodes Scholarship is awarded to 32 students nationally to fund graduate education at the University of Oxford. Rhodes Scholars are chosen not only for their outstanding scholarly achievements, but for their character, their commitment to others, and to the common good, and for their potential for leadership in whatever domains their careers may lead. The Marshall Scholarship is awarded to roughly 50 students nationally to fund graduate education at any higher education institution in the United Kingdom. As future leaders with lasting understandings of British society, Marshall Scholars strengthen the enduring relationship between the British and American peoples, their governments, and their institutions. The Mitchell Scholarship is awarded to up to 12 students nationally to fund one academic year of postgraduate study in any discipline offered by institutions of higher learning in Ireland and Northern Ireland. Applicants are judged on 3 criteria: scholarship, leadership, and a sustained commitment to community and public service. And finally, I'm excited to report that starting next year, we'll be adding the Churchill Scholarship to Cambridge University to this list. UConn was recently invited to join the Winston Churchill Foundation's network of participating institutions, and we look forward to working with students competing for that award in the future. So congratulations to all of UConn's remarkable recent nominees for the Rhodes, Marshall, and Mitchell Scholarships. The Harry S. Truman Scholarship is awarded to approximately 55 students nationwide for graduate study towards careers in public service. The scholarship recognizes academic achievement, leadership, and public service. The Truman Scholarship identifies young people at an important inflection point in their development when they're college juniors and recognizes and rewards their commitment to devote themselves to public service. Congratulations to all of our fantastic nominees for the Truman Scholarship. Udall Foundation awards 55 Udall scholarships to college sophomores and juniors for leadership, public service, and commitment to issues related to the environment or Native American affairs. The Udall Scholarship honors the legacies of Morris Udall and Stuart Udall, whose careers had a significant impact on Native American self-governance, healthcare, and stewardship of public lands and natural resources. So congratulations to all of UConn's recent nominees for the Udall Scholarship. Newman Civic Fellowship recognizes and supports community-committed students who have demonstrated an investment in finding solutions for challenges facing communities throughout the country. This fellowship, named for Campus Compact founder Frank Newman, provides training and resources that nurture students' assets and passions and help them develop strategies to achieve social change. As a Campus Compact member institution, UConn is allowed to nominate one student each year for this award. Congratulations to our recent nominees. Congratulations to all of the students who represented UConn in these competitions. Now I'm pleased to welcome UConn President Tom Katzeles.
Hello, students, families, and mentors. Students, congratulations on having submitted an application for a prestigious nationally competitive scholarship or fellowship. As you know, this is a long, arduous process that for most of you began many months before you actually hit the submit button. I'm confident that you benefited from the work that went into figuring out which opportunities to pursue, crafting your applications, and writing and rewriting your essays. Perhaps it helped you clarify your academic career and personal goals. Or maybe it helped you become just a little more aware of your strengths, your interests, and your purpose. But as much as you may have gotten out of this, I want you to know that you aren't the only ones who benefited from this process. Your ambition, your willingness to reach for the top, has a transformative effect on your peers as well. Research on student success highlights the importance of peers. For example, you can learn a lot about students by asking them, "What do you and your friends talk about?" Faculty can talk about excellence all they want, but the message doesn't really sink in until students see their peers aggressively chasing it. Those of you being recognized today are the ones whose ambition, accomplishments, and commitment to excellence set the tone for the rest of the student body. We challenge all of our students to be more like you. As we emerge from the pandemic, you are the students preparing to fan out all over the state, nation, and globe, to work in government, to serve in the Peace Corps, to teach English abroad, to learn new languages, and to conduct cutting-edge research at some of the most selective graduate programs on the planet. You're going to represent UConn well in those settings, and those of you who aren't graduating will bring back from those experiences insights and perspectives that feed into and help shape the student culture here at UConn, making it stronger, more vibrant, and more outward-looking going forward. So, congratulations on your energy, your ambition, and your willingness to go above and beyond. And most of all, thank you for your contribution to UConn's culture of excellence. Go Huskies.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Ellenwood, and I'm a recent graduate of the School of Fine Arts at the University of Connecticut. And I was recently awarded a Fulbright scholarship to go to Norway, and I worked with Luann in the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships, and I highly recommend working with her. She was absolutely amazing and supportive. She answered all of my questions and emails and was really responsive to any email I sent her, which I really appreciate. And as soon as I hit the submit button for my application, which is a very intense application, I was able to feel completely at ease and just confident that I put my best application forward. And I don't think I would have felt that way if I hadn't worked with Luann specifically in the office, because she just really provided a lot of support throughout the whole year of working on the application. So I'm really excited to continue my work in Norway and for this amazing opportunity that I feel like I wouldn't have had if it wasn't for Luann and the resource of the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Catherine Morris, and I was nominated for the Rhodes and Marshall Scholarships in 2020. Reflecting on the experience, I would say that one thing I wish I'd done more intentionally was ground myself in what exactly it was I wanted from a program as it relates to who I am now, more so than as it relates to who I think I want to be in a decade or so. Being able to reconnect your present self with your future goals is a tricky balance to make, but is one that you absolutely must be sure of before you commit to a rigorous program. That said, I still think if you truly believe that you are interested, dedicated, and prepared to compete in a national scholarship program and the actual academic program itself afterwards, definitely apply. Just be ready for a long process and understand that whatever happens, happens, and it does not change how worthy you are as a scholar or an activist or just a human being. With that, I bid you good luck.
Hey everyone, my name is Seema Patel, and I had the pleasure of working with the ONSF and Dr. Granger for the Goldwater program. I highly recommend students to utilize their services because I learned a lot through the process. I learned how to craft my personal narrative and kind of tie it in with my future career aspirations and goals. I think they're an incredible team and they really support you through every step of the process. They make a really intimidating process seem much more achievable and doable. So I highly recommend everyone utilize their services, and good luck.
Good day, Louise. Ino Chow, Benawapskiwi, Wabanaki. My name is Sage Phillips. I'm a member of the Penobscot Nation. We are the Wabanaki people. And working with the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships at UConn has given me a whole new insight and sense of clarity into what I want to do in the work that I'm doing, and a vision that is unique, and it's really been an opportunity to tell me that what I do matters. And the opportunities that the office has presented me with, I am so grateful for and would never have envisioned myself competing in these spaces. And I think that if anyone can get the opportunity to work with this office, you'll be able to really find your true passions and work alongside people who support you and embrace those same passions and the work you're doing with you. So yeah, thank you to everyone at the office, and best of luck to anyone who pursues scholarships.
Hello everyone, I'm Shankar Narayanan, a senior university scholar in UConn's Political Science and History program. I was nominated for a Marshall Scholarship, a Fulbright Scholarship, and the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace's K through Junior Fellowship this year. I would say ONSF has helped me grow beyond any way that I could have imagined when I came to UConn, because working with the advisors, for me that was Vin and Luann, really helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and then showed me that just by taking that vision that I had for myself seriously and figuring out how I could work towards it, there truly was no limit on what I could achieve. That was important for my personal growth, and it shaped how I view everything that I do, and it's really helped me take myself more seriously and take my dreams more seriously as well. Thank you to ONSF for everything that you've done and everything that you've helped me with over these 4 years.
Hi there, my name is Shelby Houghton. I am a junior at the University of Connecticut studying political science and human rights, and I'm also a finalist for the Truman Scholarship. Working with Dr. Moscardelli at the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships gave me a language to talk about my public service, and also the opportunity to feel that my work was validated and recognized in a time when I wasn't seeing much of anyone. And not only did it allow me to see my true potential, but ask myself how I could do more and how to believe in myself. And so as I reflect on this year, I think that this work and this process has challenged me to think outside of the box and to view myself for everything that I am, rather than the things that I'm afraid that I won't get to do, and to give myself time and language to talk about the things that are important to me. So thank you so much, Dr. Moscardelli, and thank you, UConn, for giving me the Office of National Scholarships and Fellowships.
Thank you, President Katzeles, and thank you, students, for sharing your experiences. Well, this brings us to the end of our celebration, but before we sign off, I want to be sure to thank just a few folks. First and foremost, thank you, mentors. The research on student success identifies one factor that stands above all of the others when it comes to predicting which students will have the most successful, meaningful, and transformative experiences as undergraduate and graduate students: finding a mentor with whom they develop a close relationship, a mentor who pushes them academically, intellectually, and even personally. So to the faculty mentors who are watching, I say thank you, and please keep sending your best students our way. Second, we couldn't do what we do in our office without the volunteer support of so many faculty, staff, alumni, administrators, and friends of the office who serve on nominating committees and practice or mock interview panels to help prepare our students. Over the past 2 years, 60 individuals, including alumni, friends of the office, faculty, staff, and administrators representing 6 schools and colleges and 26 departments and 9 offices or centers on campus, have served in this capacity. So I hope that seeing their names scroll across the screen makes it abundantly clear that it does in fact take a village to raise a national scholarship applicant. Third, I'd like to thank the Office of the Provost, specifically Vice Provost for Faculty, Staff, and Student Development, Michael Bradford, and Associate Vice Provost for Enrichment Programs, Jennifer Lee Sputz, for supporting the work that we do here in ONSF and for believing in our mission of student discernment and development. Thanks also to Caroline McGuire, Executive Director of UConn Enrichment Programs, for her support and specifically for her help in putting this video celebration together. And finally, thank you to my colleagues, Luann Saunders-Canabay and Rowena Granger, for the amazing work that you do with these students every day and for the creative ways that you work to identify and support them. I want to leave you with this sentiment. To apply for some of these scholarships, you really had to lay yourself out there, to expose yourself to us at ONSF, to the folks who would be reading your application, and frankly to yourself, and to do so in a way that was open, honest, and authentic, not sarcastic, or guarded, or tongue-in-cheek, or cynical. So before we leave, I just want to reiterate that the main reason we're here today is to celebrate you, our students, to celebrate your extraordinary talent, to celebrate your extraordinary diligence, to celebrate your extraordinary persistence, but most of all, at least from where I'm standing, to celebrate your ability to resist the myriad forces in modern society, and particularly on college campuses, that militate towards cynicism and destructive criticism. In other words, we're here to celebrate your courage to risk failure by stepping into the arena and daring to be great. Every day I work with y'all. Your ambition and your courage inspire me in ways I really didn't anticipate when I took this job. So thank you for that, and take care.